Hello children, and welcome to another episode of mosaic making. For this project I wanted to make a Medusa woman with her mouth being a drain for a floor. I went through a whole bunch of sketches, as you can see in this book, and then I kind of focused on one that looks like this, and the hair I wanted to just flow that way. So I drew it on top of this piece of paper, and I cut the paper in 4 different pieces because this mosaic is bloody huge. Then I turned it over, and then I painted that on the other side because I wanted to flip it. What you see will be the other side. I started to work with marble, and this cube industrial cut marble, and I stuck it on the opposite page, and this is how the design started to look like. Now notice that the paper where the mosaic is resting right now, that on the floor, the paper is going to be flipped, and that is going to be the area where you will actually step on top of. Notice that the mouth is open, and then that is where the drain of this bathroom is going to go into. It's going to drain, into. I worked in circles, and then I decided to work from outwards in because I wasn't too set on whether I wanted to just have one color in the inside of the circle. Now, as you can see, all the marble that is here is already pre-cut, and it's all the same thickness. I had this material that I picked up as a leftover material from this ceramic tile and marble distribution place. As you can see, I am putting the Elmer's glue that has been diluted by 2 parts to 1 because I'm going to be removing that paper at some point, and I'm putting all of these little pieces of marble inside the design. Now, as you can see, some of the areas on the outlines are still jagged because those pieces have to be cut with a special tool called a hammer and a hardy. And that sort of work is called detailing. You see that there's some areas around the circle that have lines. I left this like this marked because at some point, because the mosaic is so big, I'll need to cut the mosaic so I can transport it, because there's no way that I can flip this mosaic on its own. Now you can see all those areas like that. That sort of work is called detailing. So any entire pieces that fit, I would put them inside, and then the ones that don't, I will have to cut them. As you can see, there's some irregular pieces at the borders. Here's another example of areas that need irregular pieces, so I'll cut it. I cut them with a hammer, and then I fit them in there. Now it's all complete now like that. I put numbers on it, so I'll know, and took a picture, so I'll know which part is which, and then I'll separate it so I can, when I go to put them on site, I know how to put the puzzle together. Now it's in a box, and I can, right here this picture shows that there were some mistakes made. It happens, you have to like re-piece it together, so you have to have a lot of patience. This is the bathroom where the area is the mosaic is going to go into. There we're installing it, and that hole right there in the center is where the mouth is going to be. Now, as you can see, we're using that mortar. We grab the image, the part, and we flip it, and then once it's flipped and inside on the space, we need to tamp it with this rubber piece that just makes sure that it's all even. Now we continue to piece it together, and because we have numbers on it, we know how to put it together. Now we're tamping it with this rubber piece. Continue to assemble it. Continue to assemble it. some more until the mosaic circle is done. And notice that there are some areas that still need to be detailed, and that's actually my mistake. Because now it's on a bed of everything mortar, and mortar is dry on the studio, unbreakable. So I don't have to do any individual pieces. I'm getting with some tweezers. I'm cleaning the spaces because I need to do the further details. Elmer's glue that has been diluted. I get it nice and wet, and then otherwise the pieces will not fit. There's a little piece of paper that was holding the mosaic together, or dry mortar, away from it. And then I continue to fill in the pieces with the rest of my tiny pieces that I have to cut with the hammer and the hardy. Right now I'm mixing the grout. The grout is what goes in the middle of each tessera. A tessera is each little piece that is there. And then I put it with a rubber, rubber tool, and I just get it in there. So all the little spaces are filled with this thing called grout, and then I clean it, and voila! You come into my bathroom at my restaurant, and this is what you'll see on the floor. Is the mermaid. That's the mirror. And then I did some more mermaids on the wall just to have the space more continuous. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Cheers.